All right, everybody. So it's your boy QuestX coming back at you once again, and I really want to talk about Lavar Ball situation, and I also want to talk about this order that was lifted overnight, very sneaky, very underhandedly, when it relates to my Haitian brothers and sisters here in the United States, because I think this all goes hand in hand. Also, I want to talk about in referencing Marshawn Lynch with Donald Trump. And more specifically, I want to focus on the fact that this LeVar Ball is seemingly being the subject of what's going on right now. And I really want to make sure that people understand. I watched the interview. I didn't catch it live. I watched it. I fell asleep. I just was so dead tired from the day yesterday. So I did not watch the interaction between Chris Cuomo and anchor on CNN and LeVar Ball live. So I caught up with it this morning, and I'm a bit conflicted with how LeVar Ball conducted himself, but I have to take into consideration that's LeVar Ball, and it's how he wants to deliver his message and which way he wants to do it. Now, we'll sit here and say this, is that anybody with any sort of ability to read between the lines understands that LeVar Ball said a lot of things without actually being specific. And Chris Cuomo was doing what he is supposed to do, which is try to rise up and get banter back and forth. But the thing is that LeVar Ball makes it easy for people to rile up the situation because he's just there to, he's an attention-seeking person. Everybody knows that. But that does not disclude, right, his position that he does not have to thank Donald Trump for a damn thing. And I want to preface this by saying a lot of what LeVar Ball was trying to say, you had to get past the banter and the back and forth between Cuomo to really understand what he was saying. It had been reported days before that UCLA's the head of the basketball program, was already on the ground making moves, making calls and connections to the Chinese government. And then they didn't go to jail. They initially were detained and then brought to the hotel. So already, obviously, there were things set in motion to help these young men so that these young men did not go to jail. Donald Trump and his rhetoric and his instability and his non-credibility goes on and says they should thank him. Now, you guys gotta understand that coming from a black man and black people and people of color in general, when someone of white distinction comes up and says, you need to thank me, that is nothing more than an actual filtered way of saying, thank you, Massa, for being there for you. Thank you, Massa, for the glorious clothes I give you. Thank you, Massa, for the air you breathe. Because it is. It's a stigmatism that is built off of the white God complex. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for any of my viewers or anybody who comes on here to come and listen to me. It is what that is. Okay? All right. And the fact is, the beautiful Angela Ree goes on a segment right after the program airs, and she eloquently places it right where it needs to be placed. Donald Trump has an issue with black people. He has an issue with black people who make money. He has a bigger issue with black people who make money, who do not thank the system that, in his mind, allows them to make money, because it comes from a slave master mentality. He is a racist, all right? He is a homophobe. He is a misogynistic piece of shit. And I don't need to sit here and sugarcoat that, but that's the truth, okay? He doesn't go after Greg Popovich, a veteran, a U.S. veteran who has repeatedly, every time he gets a chance, he disrespects Donald Trump's name. He disrespects how his family is run. He makes personal attacks, but you never hear him go at him. He didn't go after Eminem. This is fundamentally at its core what this whole situation with LeVar Ball is and Donald Trump is. It is the perception that what is deemed an arrogant black man Because see, we're always deemed arrogant when we stand up for our children. We're always deemed arrogant when we stand up for our position. We're always deemed ungrateful when we're successful and we don't thank white people for our success. We're deemed arrogant. We're deemed insane, crazy. Listen to the lingo of most of the reporters who are commenting about the Chris Cuomo interview. He was combative. We're always deemed these negative connotations attached to it when we want to stand up for our family. But if Donald Trump does it, then hey, he's a diligent father and he loves his kids. This is what I'm talking about, and this is why a person like Lavar Ball, going on this interview segment, do I believe he should have did it in a different way? Who am I to sit there and tell this man how he should defend his family and defend his position? He's allowed to sit there and speak his mind. And I, for one, support him. And no, I'm not just supporting him because he's a black man. I'm supporting him because he's right. This president lies on a daily basis. An hourly basis. He can't even tell you the truth with what he ate for breakfast in the morning. Okay, so let's not sit here and try to act as if this is some big surprise why Lavar Ball isn't thanking him. What the surprise is that a private citizen in the private sector of this country shows you the level of disdain that the American people have for the President of the United States. And who created that atmosphere? The President of the United States. The blame is not on Lavar Ball. Okay? But again, much like the O.J. Simpson issue, it's not about whether a man killed two innocent people. It's about the fact that a black man allegedly killed two innocent people, and he didn't come across as apologetic enough, because we're always supposed to be apologetic for just existing. So I support Lavar Ball in his position he took. Now, and you want to know something else? The brilliance of Lavar Ball is that he's going to use this absolute caveman, which Donald Trump is, Neanderthal asshole. He's going to use him, and he's going to make money off of him. Because that's what pimps do. When a pimp sees a hoe, he hoes him out. Excellent job by Lavar Ball. Now, when I wanted to talk about with the whole Marshawn Lynch and how it ties in, and then the whole nearly 60,000 Haitians, right, have been given 18 months to leave the U.S. or face the deportation. Do you guys not see where this goes hand in hand to why a person like Lavar Ball can do what he did and be validated? This man hates everyone of color. He does not care. When he's sitting up there talking about how he wants to make America great again, we all have been through it. We went through it through this entire election process and campaign process. He's talking about bringing America all white again. He wants to get rid of anybody of difference and different colors in the United States. And that's a fact. This administration is a detriment to any minority that exists in this country today. You think the system is what we had to worry about before? Now you have somebody who publicly is using the system and telling you without having to tell you, because it's all about context, he does not want people of color in this country. And I'm going to guarantee you this, if he could figure out a way for people who were born here of color to get us out of here, he would try to do it. This is not about America. This is not about, Marshawn Lynch is disrespecting the American anthem, and he's standing for the Mexican anthem. This is about, here's another example, you angry, disrespectful, racist, KKK Klansman, of why I am doing this fight for you. I'm going to take it one step further. Let me take an entire people of Haitians and say, fuck you, get them out of here. This man is an evil man. This man is somebody who absolutely is praised for his lack of respect for those of difference. And I don't understand why we have to have these debates over whether what he meant to say, because he's not meaning to say anything. He is saying it without having to say it. One of the anchors came on today and said that it's not about what he says, it's about what he does. Well, then explain this to me. He attacks everybody of color, but he won't attack people of his own race. He sits there and he's now talking about deporting Mexicans and Latinos from this country. Now he's moving to Haitians. This man is an evil man. There is no doubt about it. And this is why when black people specifically, when our black fathers and our black mothers and, our black brothers stand up to him, he has an issue with it. Because to him and his old white is right philosophy, the slave is never to speak up to the master. That's why you're having this issue. And let me be very clear. When these white anchors get on here, no matter how much they try to be your friend, they're really not. Because they jump on the white supremacy train too.